He sends the signal to the pitcher. There's a receptor in his hat that says slider.
I really liked it.
Personally like the PitchCom. Allows me to control the pace of the game.
Looking in there, and they're going to push it exactly what they want to throw.
Sped up the game for the most part.
You know, kept the good rhythm of the game.
Get a pitch, get it, and then go.
It was a really, really good piece of technology.
I mean, I think it's a good addition to baseball right now.
Man, we're putting Alex to work, man. I mean, first full day here. We're asking about the home plate collision.
I'm here all week.
So there you go. All right, good. Now, look, PitchCom is something that it looks like, I mean, more and more teams are going to be using. MLB's approved it this year, started using it in the offseason. But basically, it's a way for the catcher to give the pitcher the signs by literally just pushing a button. So I'm going to let you take it away because I know some teams are experimenting with it, and there's some pluses. And then there's some minuses as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, they first came around a few years ago. I remember when I was in spring training in Arizona, just to kind of give guys an idea of like what they might be working on a little bit. It was a little clunky. It was, you know, it wasn't working too great or anything like that. But obviously, they've gotten to the point where they feel comfortable, you know, to let teams use it in the game. As a catcher, what I would do, what I would tell my pitchers is, it's up to you. And you know, if you don't want to use it, we'll go with the traditional signs. If you want to use it, then it's something for me to learn and something to do.
So hold it out there just first, and then talk about what's on each side so people can see it.
Well, basically, you have, you know, the buttons that'll have the, you know, which pitch you want to use, and then on the other side it'll tell each pitch, and you know, each pitcher will have their own card with their specific set of pitches to be able to, you know, call the game.
Oh, English and in Spanish.
English and in Spanish,
right.
and they'll actually be able to hear it in English or in Spanish, and you could program whatever voice you need in it.
How much fun and how much easier is it for you to just kind of keep the pace of the game, keep the pace of the rhythm of the pitcher, which is so important in today's game?
It's really important, but at the same time, it's going to depend on the pitcher's comfort, because some guys like to process each pitch as they're walking back up to the mound. So if you're kind of punching in a pitch right as you throw the ball back to him, it might kind of mess with, you know, that guy's process. Some guys want that pitch right away. So it's just going to depend on you know, how guys feel with it each time going out there.
Well, let me ask you about just the cumbersome nature of having this apparatus on your forearm. Did it bother you at all, having it there? And then, I mean, it just takes some time to get used to.
When I first tried it, because I tried it on one of the bullpen sessions in spring training, and for me, it was a little bulky, at least the first one that I had saw. But I would always have a wristband on for protection anyways.
Okay.
And this is not that much bigger than that. I mean, I think it would be something to easily get used to.
Now, guys are putting it in their gear, though.
Yeah, I've noticed
I've seen that.
Yeah, I've noticed that some guys are wearing it on top of their shin guards.
Now, the pitchers are wearing this, right? So this is kind of like the Bluetooth that it relays the pitch.
Right. And so that
is
strapped,
a speaker.
And it's strapped inside.
It's strapped inside the hat, and it's pretty loud. That was one of the things for me is when you're relaying a pitch as a hitter, can I hear it? But as a matter of fact, it's been the opposite.
Yeah,
whereas sometimes you just can't hear anything.
I know. We just got our hands on this today, so we've been playing with it all day. So it's been kind of fall. We're going to try it. So Yonder, hold that up by the mic, see, hopefully, and then go ahead and
just touch them all.
Okay, we're not getting it, but we were getting it earlier, then we weren't, then we were.
Well,
there we go.
10.
Okay, so that's Yonder's going.
Come on.
You're playing with the volume there.
Yes, I can play with the volume.
We got to turn the on button on, I guess.
At least you hear just that it's loud. But some pitchers have said that in using it in spring training compared to the regular season, the crowd's a lot louder, especially early in the season, the regular season. They've had some issues actually hearing it. It hasn't been louder.
Yeah, there's been some games throughout the year that you can tell that, you know, pitchers are having a hard time, you know, hearing what is being said, or maybe there's a malfunction. So there's still some kinks, obviously. But can you imagine, like, if there's, you know, a playoff game, you have, you know, two teams going at it, and the opposing fans know that there's a pitcher using the PitchCom. You're out there practicing like if it was NFL or college football. You got to account for the crowd noise. But as long as you have a backup plan with your catcher, as far as being able to go back to the traditional signs, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But that's just another wrinkle. It's just another layer to add to it, and something else to prepare for.
Dave, real quick, one more for me. Throwing over to first base, is there a button for that as well?
Yeah, there's. I mean, you can pretty much do anything with this, and you know, have that, or you know, you can still go to those traditional signs for it. But a lot of times too, you know, teams allow their pitchers to have leeway to do that on their own as well.
I think it's great. I really do. I think at first it was a little weird not seeing the sign from the catcher, watching it on TV, but I just think the pace of play is so much better. I think the pitchers understand what's going on. It's kind of like that rule when it first got put into place that you couldn't step out of the box.
Right.
And it was a little tough, but once you get the ring of it, a month in or 2 months in, you were ready to go.
Well, I think you've seen a lot of pitchers that have been using it from spring to early in the year. You know, guys that, you know, are enjoying it. And it's not just...
They're adapting.
Yeah, and it's not just the young guys. There's some of the older pitchers as well. They like the technology. They like the fact that they don't have to worry about somebody stealing signs. Because there's a lot of guys that have that anxiety while they're out there that they don't want, you know, their signs to be out there for, you know, anybody to be able to look at, and, you know, it takes that away, and, you know, it eases their mind for that, and that way they can focus on pitching.
Game of adjustments.
And again, if it becomes widely used, will help speed up the game. So you won't have to worry now with guys at second base worrying about, oh, if they're picking off the signs. If pitchers are using that and they're comfortable using that, it'll just speed up the process, see if we can get these game times down, especially with, I know you guys both like this, the DH in the National League, but the games are...
I'm in on that.
I'm in on that.
Yeah, no, I know.
More hitting.
But we still want the games to be,
Right.
get them tighter around 3 hours. Good stuff, good stuff. And we'll work on that.